In a small village, hidden from the world by mist and time, an old man was living his last day. He didn't know it, or perhaps he did. His name was Elias. He had lived in this house for 80 years. He had loved, lost, and remembered. Soon, he would be only a memory. Elias sat by the window, as he did every morning. He watched the village wake. He had watched it wake for 8 decades. His eyes had seen so much: wars, peace, love, loss, and now they saw only the quiet beauty of a single day.
His granddaughter came every day. She was the only family he had left, the only one who still came to listen.
She didn't need to speak. He didn't need to hear. They had passed words long ago. Now there was only presence.
Tell me another story, Dada.
And he would remember. For her, for himself, for the last time.
When I was a boy.
He spoke of fields of wheat that stretched to the horizon, of running until his legs gave out, of a time before the world became heavy. She listened. She wrote. She held each word like a treasure. He told her about the girl he loved, the one who became his wife, the one who left him 20 years ago. He still missed her, every day. But the missing had become soft, like an old friend. He held her hand when she left. He told her he would remember her. He kept his promise.
And I will remember you too.
And I will remember you too, he said. She didn't know that soon she would be the only one doing the remembering. They stood together at the door. The village, the world lay before them. He was seeing it for the last time.
Thank you.
For what?
Thank you, he whispered. She didn't understand. Not yet.
She made him tea, as she did every day. The same cups, the same routine, the same love. He remembered her making tea, the way she hummed, the way she smiled, the way the kitchen felt alive when she was in it.
You remind me of her.
You remind me of her, he said. She knew it was the highest compliment.
Tell me about the war.
She asked about the war. He rarely spoke of it, but today he would.
He was just a boy. The war took his youth and gave him nightmares in return.
He lost friends, brothers, pieces of himself that never grew back. The memories still hurt after all these years, but he carried them. For her, for himself. When he came home, his mother held him for an hour. He cried for the first time in years. She held his hand across the table. The war was far away, but the love was right here.
Then came the good memories. His wedding day, the happiest day of his life.
She was so beautiful.
Tell me more.
She was so beautiful, he said. Tell me more, she said. And he did. Their first child. Her name was, he paused. The names came harder now.
Amina.
He remembered his children playing in this very yard. The same yard where his granddaughter now sat. She looked at the empty yard and tried to see what he saw. Children, laughter, life.
Rest, Dada.
He slept. She watched. The memories waited.
She looked at her notebook. It was full of him, his life, his memories, his love. Once in a golden land, a young girl heard a whisper from the stars, and that whisper carried the secrets of the world. She looked at the photograph. Everyone in it was gone, except him. Soon, only the photograph would remain. Every object in this house held a memory she didn't have. Soon, they would just be things.
Mariam.
He called out her name in his sleep, Mariam. She wrote it down. She would not forget. The village went about its day. No one knew that a library was dying in this house.
You're still here.
He woke, then he saw her and remembered. She was the one who remembered him.
I had a dream about your grandmother. She was young again. She was waiting.
She knew. He was saying goodbye, in his own way. She held his hand tighter.
Take me outside.
Take me outside, he said. She helped him rise. He wanted to see the sun one last time. They sat together in the golden light. He closed his eyes and felt the sun. It was enough. She leaned her head on his shoulder. They didn't need words. The silence said everything.
When I'm gone, tell my stories. Don't let me disappear. She promised. With her heart,
The sun set. He watched it go. He was ready.
he heard.
She know you, daughter.
He took one last breath, and then he was gone. But not really. He lived in her notebook, in her heart.
Morning came. He wasn't in his chair. The house felt empty, but it wasn't. It was full of him. She sat in his chair and looked out his window. She tried to see what he saw. Peace.
They buried him in the village cemetery, next to his wife. The soil was soft from rain. She placed a flower on his grave. Goodbye, Dada. Thank you for everything.
Thank you.
She read his stories. His life was in these pages. And as long as she had them, he was alive. She remembered him laughing. She would always remember him laughing. She would have to let this house go. But she would never let him go.
Every object held a story. She carried them in her heart now.
She took his watch. It had stopped. She wound it. It ticked again. He would have liked that.
She closed the door. The house was just a house now, but he was still with her. Thank you.
They didn't know she carried a library of one man's life.
She looked back at the village he had loved. She would carry it too. She wrote his epitaph, not on stone, on paper, in her heart. The sun broke through the clouds. She felt him smile.
She walked on. She was the last person who remembered him today. But tomorrow, she would tell his stories, and he would live again. Years passed. She lived in a new city. But she carried the old one with her.
Tell me a story, Mama.
Tell me a story, her child said. She opened the notebook, and Elias lived again. She told him about the wheat fields, about the boy who ran until his legs gave out.
I wish I could have met him.
You just did. She showed him a photograph. The child touched it gently, a connection across time. The one about your grandmother, how they met.
She told the story of how they met, a story of love at first sight, a story that would never die.
Hi, Elias.
Good night, Elias, the child whispered, and Elias, wherever he was, smiled.
She was no longer the last person who remembered him. Now there were two. Tomorrow, there would be more.
She wrote in the notebook. The story would continue. He would never really die.
Thank you.
She remembered him waving from the door. Thank you, he had said. Now she understood. The sun set on another day. But Elias's sun would never set. Not as long as someone told his story. The sun set on another day. But Elias's sun would never set. Not as long as someone told his story. A person dies twice. Once when the last breath leaves their body, and once when the last person who remembers them speak their name for the final time.
But his name was spoken again and again.
Not again.
He would never truly die.
Elias.
The last person who remembered him died today, but someone else began to remember him tomorrow, and that is enough. That is everything.